Well, I was out here fertilizing and taking a look at some of the onions, and several of them are starting to die down. That little guy there, this little one, this one, and that guy. And I noticed this. Look at this. Our onions actually made this year. They're actually doing good. So I'm gonna harvest these that are dying off for now, and we'll have to come back and get these bigger ones with the sprouts. I'm hoping some of these are really good in size. But this one just kind of flopped over. I was afraid something had happened to it. But I think it's just the top that's died out of it. So. Oh no, we got a pretty good little sized onion here. Oh wow, yeah. Hey, that's a lot bigger than what we planted. What we planted was more akin to that size, something like that. So yeah, that's a good little baseball-sized onion or something. Put that in our basket. Come down here. You know what? I can feel him. He's real small. We'll let him grow a little bit more. This one that's fallen over. Down and see what we got here. A little smaller, but hey, they actually made this year. This is great. Got a report that I think this tomato has kicked the bucket. This was one of our better boys, so maybe I can find a replacement for it. The other ones seem to be doing okay, doing better. So far, no real evidence of blooms on these yet. The Million Wonders have given us one wonder so far. One on this guy, one on that, and these are struggling a bit too. This old foliage is like frost damage. It just has not been able to shake it, and they still don't look quite the best. But I'm hoping they can come on. About banana peppers, as they grow fast, and this guy is pulling that plant completely down. I mean, he's almost as big as the plant itself. So we'll harvest that banana pepper. Long as my hand. It's a really nice one. And I'm gonna come over and I'm gonna get this guy. This guy here, this longest one I'll take. Leave some of the others. We'll go over here and check out these bells. That little bell is coming along nice. I don't know how long I'll let him grow before I go ahead and take him off the plant, so the plant can kind of focus on more on growing than actually producing fruit at kind of this young age. That one too. I can see this red from across the yard, and I'm hoping I'm not too. I see. Yeah, the birds got it before I did. But here's one they haven't got. So that is officially our first strawberry of the year. If those two can hold on, maybe another. Here's number 2. I haven't had much luck with the blackberries where I've transplanted them. But here at the old spot, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new blackberry plants sprout up that I can dig and maybe pot. Just let them grow here for now, I guess. It's a small harvest today, but it'll get better. It'll get better. I'm gonna show off these little wild poppies that are just blooming in our yard. They picked the spot next to a dead redbud, and there's several little groups of them. They're just full of little blooms, little buds. So pretty. Last year my brother mailed me a Fatali pepper plant, and I kept it inside, and it survived the winter. It's got all kind of little sprouts coming back out. You can see one of the old dried fruits there. It's had a little bit of dieback. It's super woody, almost like a bonsai or something down here, but we're going to keep it watered out here now in the garden, and keep it going. So it's late May or whatnot, and I've been down for the count for a while, and I plan on getting an herb garden really established there before we decided to put the apple tree in. But I've got these 4 random planter boxes that we're not using, and I'm just gonna steal or borrow some soil, make a borrow pit in this bed, and fill these, I think, and maybe get a late start. I got some oregano, some cilantro, basil, and thyme, all left over from last year. This was an extra pack that's completely unopened. So maybe this will be good here in another couple of months or something. And these planter boxes should be more than enough room for them. Now I got those planted, and I've oriented them around. This was originally envisioned as a medicine wheel garden, and so keep with a north post going clockwise. I've got basil here, cilantro, oregano, thyme. Watered in good. Well, I finally picked up some Clemson spineless okra. These look great. It's very full. More okra here than we need, but plant what we can and save the rest, and see if there's other little buckets or something we can put them in. You could easily just thin these guys or something, whichever ones you didn't want, but I tend to, as easy as I can, break that root system apart. Try to save and utilize as many of these as possible, as long as you get some roots off of them, off with them. There. There's the 2 good right there. Let's put the rest of these out, start planting. So from that 1 6-pack of okra, I produced 30 okra plants. That back one there is actually a double I'm just going to leave together. So technically 31 seedlings of okra out of that 1 6-pack. You might think this is a little stuffed. If you were going by square foot gardening, I mean, this is, you have 18 square feet here, and the rule would be that you could in theory get 18. But I did 13 last year, so 15 is not really much of a bump, and they should do just fine. Okay, so I'm getting ready to plant our carrots. So either we're going to do the bucket method. I went out and got a couple 3 food grade 5-gallon buckets, and we're just going to put a 9/16 drill bit on this, and to help catch little dusting things, little plastic parts, just kind of wrap the Lowe's bag around the bottom of this. Let's drill us some holes. Here we go. There's 4 good holes. They ain't pretty, but they ain't gotta look pretty. They just gotta do the job. I was gonna put them in the bottom, but with this just sitting on the ground, I decided something higher up like that would be more beneficial to it. There's plenty of room to drain. I took my pocket knife and smoothed the holes over a bit more. I like them a lot better. The little bag did a pretty good job of collecting most of the shavings. There's still a bit here and there around that need picking up, but that worked pretty great. So now I've got these. I just need to put my soil mix in them. Well, I don't have really enough potting soil to fill these 3 buckets. So we're gonna mix some potting soil with half of this bag of this soil conditioner that I have. It's good light. There should be loose, and between the two of them, that should be plenty for the buckets. That's what the mix looks like. I kind of maybe wish I had a little more potting soil than the other, but hey, I'll know in a couple of months if the carrots like this or not, and I'll remember it if so. Okay, so here's what we're growing. Tender sweet. And it's supposed to get 10 inches long. And I'm kind of right at the end of when you're supposed to sow these guys. But this works out, you know, I'll get another packet of these, and in a couple months maybe I can plant more. They're very fine little seeds. And we'll see how many we can get in each of these buckets. I'll just have to do some thinning later. I just kind of evenly distributed them. You can't really see it in the dirt here, and I probably didn't use a third of the packet. We'll just see how well these germinate. I have no earthly idea on the germination rate, so I probably put this a little thick, but better have too many to start off with than not enough. Now the beauty of these buckets, I can literally lift them and just take them anywhere I want. And we're going to send them over here in the back corner for the moment on the mulch. And behind the peppers. This can be their little grow home for now, so I can figure out something different. Hog. I cleared as much of the weeds behind this as I could. I was going to put some fencing down, maybe some chicken wire to keep it out, but there's too big of a job right now. And we found a little spot. All this had grown up so bad with weeds, it had made a place that was bedding down over there, and been wreaking havoc on some of the neighbors' plants, and caught it out by the blueberries a few times. And the blueberries, you know, we got a few here to pick, you know, they're looking good. So I don't want him eating these, and I've read online that they do not like the smell of blood meal. So for now, until we can get the fencing up at a later date, we're just going to spread some of this blood meal around. They apparently do not like the smell of this. It does have a little bit of stink to it, but this will be beneficial for the plants, and if it keeps the groundhog away, then that's just an added bonus. Getting some more banana peppers. Now we got us some blueberries to pick. Just a few are starting to ripen. That one was maybe a little under.
Yeah. This one's not.
Oh yeah, that one's good. And this one's good down here. There's that one.
There's one on this one right here, the second one. Right here, baby.
Oh yeah. This is already more than last year. Oops, that whole limb came off. Trying to be careful. Oops. I didn't video it because it was a little bit of a process, but we got our Granny Smith apple tree planted here in the center of the garden. It has plenty of room to grow. You can get you know, 8 feet wide if it wanted to. It won't have any blooms this year, but we were starting to see some dieback on the leaves. It's just been in a 1-gallon pot. I haven't had the opportunity to get it in the ground, and oh, here it is now, the centerpiece of the garden. Put some netting down, and oh wow, look at that. Oh, that's a nice one. The snails are getting to them just a little bit now. I got to put out something to kill the snails. But maybe we've got a few in here that we can eat. Well, we got our first harvest of blueberries and strawberries of the year. There were probably 4 times as many strawberries that we threw out. We're winning the war with birds, but we're losing it to the slugs now. And more banana peppers. They're coming in hot and fast. So we're doing something new this year. Found a whole bag of raw peanuts, and we're gonna try our hand at growing some peanuts. The first step is shelling these guys, and we gotta get them in the water for about 4 or 5 hours, and then on to the next little process. Well, we got one little bell picked today. I'm mostly just picking this one, so it'll put more effort in the growing bigger. We're gonna grill out here too, so this will be good to mix. It's our first bell pepper of the season. Looks good. Kind of the same with this little guy. It's sort of stunting the growth of the plant. So even though it's not much, I'm gonna go ahead and snip him off. Those will be good on the grill tonight.